Welcome to another edition of In the Weeds with Ikard and Lehman, presented by River Wind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's number one casino. But it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful, award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games, with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match, roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, please visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, good times, great rewards. We're back within the weeds, Ted. How we feeling?
Yes, it's been a while.
It has. So, if this is your first in the weeds experience, we pick one offensive play and one defensive play from the previous week's game, and we kind of break it down and try to, what's the best way to put it, Ted? Try to explain it in football terms.
Yeah,
We try to help people understand what's going on the field.
yeah, because a lot of times it just depends. Sometimes there's some cool little nuggets that are going to be hidden in plays that maybe you don't see on the TV copy or in live action.
So please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Tell all your friends. And if you really like this video, there's this thing, I think it's down that way, called a super thanks. We'd appreciate it if you guys hit us up with the super thanks if you could be so kind. On to the first play. We're going to take a look at Bauer Sharp's touchdown from Jackson Arnold. And I think this conversation needs to start with RPOs. They come in all kinds of different shapes and sizes, Ted. And this is an interesting concept from Seth Luttrell. What they're doing here is the offensive line is blocking kind of a wider split zone concept. So the offensive line is blocking a zone concept to the left. So you're going to see these guys work to their left. Babetchi's got the cutoff back here. Tarquin's going to run. They're going to work up to this backer. And then Bauer Sharp is going to come back across the formation in what looks like a wider split zone. Now, where it gets interesting is Bauer Sharp is going to slip the backside defender. And if that backside defender runs with the play, turns his shoulder and runs with the play, Jackson Arnold is reading that guy and is going to pull the ball and run what looks like a boot concept, but there's multiple route options. So it's a really interesting concept, Ted. And let's take a look at the start of it. So you see there's split zone, right? Now, don't love Hickman and Hatchet getting split. I am that's not what you're looking for. But you see the outside-ish zone track. And one of the reasons you can tell that they're blocking the run is just look how far Tarquin gets up the field at that right tackle spot. That's how you know, like that is the demeanor of a guy that is blocking a run. And Ted, wouldn't you agree that if it was just straight boot, the track of the lineman usually is a little, you try not to have it be, but it's usually a little flatter than this.
Yeah, it's you. I mean, in on the defensive side,
Don't
it's a
don't say the
telltale.
term for it. I don't want to hear it.
I'm not going to talk about any circus animals. What I'm going to say though is you could pretty much tell right away because for people that don't know, like the linebackers are going to be fitting on Bauer Sharp as he comes back across the formation. The linebackers are going to react with that and come back because that's your gap. And whenever you do that, you can see if the linemen are climbing or not typically. And if they've just all they're turning and running sideways, you can usually tell if it's boot pretty quickly. And this one's a little bit different.
So that's an interesting, you bring up an interesting point, Ted. When you're an offensive lineman, and you're running a split zone concept, you're anticipating these backers rocking back just a little bit because they see and then react to the split zone action in the backfield. Now, some backers see it better than others,
Some never
but
see it.
yeah, some never see it. But so you get to the split zone here, and this is honestly, if Jackson Arnold said, "Hey, I don't feel like that guy is running hard enough down the line, I can hand it." You can see where off of Tarquin's left side, there's a crease there. But I understand what he sees. He sees this guy kind of just in no man's land. I don't even know what this guy's doing, but he's got his shoulders turned. He's running down the line. Clearly, Jackson Arnold thinks that is a pull read. So he's out here going through his progression. Remember, Jake Roberts motioned out and is on the outside being covered by a corner man to man. And this is one of those where, hey, Jackson Arnold just kind of starts pointing, and it's backyard football between him and Bauer Sharp. Sharp finds space. Arnold throws a great ball. I love how Sharp goes up and gets it. And this is a guy that we've heard a lot about, Ted, scoring his first touchdown. And
Love it.
I love how it kind of just feels like two guys where the play didn't work out perfectly, but they just made it work. And it feels like a play where the connection between Sharp and Arnold has been forged through spring and training camp and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it looks good. And I like how Bauer Sharp, moment he sells it coming across, you see the little stutter there, like he's going to block the defensive end, and then he takes it across and he's going flat, but then you see him peek at the backer, and then he peeks back at Jackson Arnold, and he starts to change his route. And you'll often see, I mean, a bad tight end will just continue on the same exact path. A good tight end, depending on the concept, will shut it down, sometimes work back away from a defender in his zone if they see it. And here Bauer Sharp does a good job of, just turning it up. Since it's man, we're going to have clear area. He's just going to turn it up the field and find, some more green grass and hope that Jackson Arnold sees the same. And he does. And he just throws it to that point where he ends up headed to. I think it's great improv between the two guys.
It seems like right here is when he says, "Hey, if I keep running to the flat, this guy's going to cover me. I'm just going to go find some space and hope that my quarterback sees me."
Yeah, no, that's right.
But it's just it's a complex RPO where I think Arnold makes the right read here, and then it's just two guys playing ball right here. Looking at him, it's just two guys that they're going and making a play. It's a really good ball from Jackson Arnold on the move,
It
like
is.
back, like slightly inside, but still somehow like throws it across his body, but still kind of leads him.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's not an easy throw, especially when you're processing on the move. He's got to throw enough height to get it over the linebacker in front, right? But he can't just throw it up at too high up in the air because there's a free safety back there you can see him coming across right now to try and make the play on the goal line. So if you put too much loft under it, that free safety has a chance maybe to come over and make a play on it. It's perfectly executed.
All
Do you
right,
think anyone
let's.
cares to hear how the defense screwed it up?
I think everyone cares to hear.
Because I think this is pretty interesting, which, by the way, this is day one stuff. If you are in cover one, which it looks like they're in, and they've got a tight end that's out of the box, you're going to have a call. So now we've got three backers in the box. You can see them lined up right there. 1, 2, 3. Well, between the three of us, we have the running back and the tight end. If the running back and the tight end split, the running back goes to the right, the tight end goes to the left. Well, then the middle backer of those three is going to be the free player, and the two guys on the outside are going to take the back and tight end. Easy. Well, it gets difficult when they cross. So remember, we're three over these two. So as they cross, Bauer Sharp comes across. So zero is going to have him man to man. And Salchuk on the play action is going to go to the left. And is that 29 over there on the far left? I can't read his
Looks
number.
like 29, Ted. Look at you and your
29.
vision.
He's going to have Salchuk, and the Mike backer will be the free player. So what's very important about this is if you've got a guy man to man to the flat, zero has Bauer Sharp. That defensive end, it's critical here that he helps you by smashing and getting inside of that guy to where if he comes outside, it blocks you, it all fits and the gaps fit. Well, he doesn't touch him, he doesn't do anything. But you can see zero is in a good position. He is expecting to take Bauer Sharp. And you can see the other back, he's telling him because it's kind of caught in between here for a second. And the guy that's the plugger waves and tells him, you take him, and he's coming. Typically, the free player on boot comes to pick up the quarterback. So you could see him wave and saying, I'm going to pick up the quarterback on the boot. You got to take the tight end.
Cover the guy you're supposed to cover. That's such a great call. Watch it. Watch the point right there.
Oh, that's you. You got him.
You got him. Why is he open? You have him. I've got the quarterback. Go. That's
Now on
good
the
stuff.
backside of this, the linebacker on the backside, a lot of times when you run this, that running back will go hide in the offensive line and then leak out really late on a wheel route. And that's where that other linebacker on the backside has to really pay attention and come. He's actually probably leaving too much space in between there.
And that's the mind of a defensive player. I don't know if I like that. Look at that throw. That's beautiful.
Touch,
All right.
touchy.
Let's get to the next one. How you feeling about that's our first in the weeds play of the year. How are we
I
feeling
like it.
about it?
Hey, first touchdown of the year.
Yeah. Feels good.
Awesome.
Feels good.
Yeah.
All right. So this is a there's a lot to break down here. Mostly my issues with how they're trying to do things in protection, but this is a great opportunity. First of all, situation here is 3rd and 10. There's 5 minutes and 57 seconds to go in the first quarter. And you hear us say bear front a lot on here. And if you ever hear that and you go, what the hell is a bear front? This is it. You've got a head up nose. You've got the outside shade of both guards covered. You've got a guy on the outside shade of both tackles. That is when we are talking about them getting into bear with the Mike linebacker up on the edge, which Kobe
Yep.
McKenzie is
That's the
right
other
here.
thing. This is where the penalties come from whenever our guys yell move, because typically Jaden Jackson would be in the gap on the other side of the center, and then Ethan Downs would be outside the tackle. So move. Jaden Jackson slides over the center. Ethan Downs crashes down into that three technique, and the Mike backer comes storming up onto the edge of the defense.
Did you see LSU get called for that in that
Yeah,
USC game?
yeah.
What was that? Since when is
It
that
gets
illegal?
it gets called way too much.
I I I didn't even know how to react to that.
I know.
Felt unfair. And you know
It
me, I
is.
don't I don't like the defense.
I
It
know
felt
it.
unfair. But so this is when we talk about bear front, this is the defensive look we're talking about for OU.
And
And
to point out real quick, Stutzman's playing the will backer right now. And he's usually where Kobe is. Well, I'll say usually. When he's out there with Kip, Stutzman plays up on the line where Kobe is. Kobe's playing the mic right now. Stutzman's playing the will.
I will say, see what I did there?
Mm-hmm.
I will say that I like Stutzman in the off the ball position in their bear package because I think
Yeah.
he's their best blitzer.
Yeah.
I think he's more of a threat off the ball because he just has a natural, he's got a natural feel for blitzing. He's got
Great
really good
timing.
timing
Hmm.
with the blitzing. And I think he can have more of an impact in that package off the ball as opposed to being that guy on the edge where he just, I mean, it's not like he's going and practicing a bunch of pass rush moves off the
Yeah.
edge during practice. Like that's not what he's doing. So I just,
Well, in the other backer, that spot, you can do a lot more things, not just blitz. You cover the back man to man and add to the rush, be a zone dropper underneath if they're playing man to man coverage behind, be a spy on a quarterback. Or, I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do from that spot.
so looking at what Temple's got, they're running 6-man protection. So you've got your 5 offensive linemen and the running back. So typically, in essentially every offense I ever played in college and in the NFL, 6-man protection, the other team's in bear, you're going what a lot of people call 5-0, which means the 5 offensive linemen got the 5 guys at the line of scrimmage, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
it's a pretty simple concept. The back then goes, he takes this guy in the box to anything else that could show up, right? His eyes are there first, and then he's scanning for something else to come. I am not entirely sure what Temple is doing here from a protection standpoint. Because if it was gap protection, you would you would see the back insert on the edge, right? If it
Right.
was just like a full slide. And that's not what he's doing. So he's tracking Stutzman. He's tracking Stutzman like the offensive line's going to block the 5 down guys. But then the center, you see the center's eyes appear to be all the way out to Billy, which is stupid. I'm just going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you why it's stupid. Billy, at the snap, everything about Billy's demeanor, and this is the more football you play, the more things you just learn. Billy is staring right at this guy. And then there is no safety anywhere near Billy to cover down and cover this guy if he were to come on a blitz. So, as an offensive lineman, that guy is not coming. You should, if you're in charge of the protection, whether it's the offensive line or if it's the quarterback, you should not direct the protection to Billy because he's not coming. Every indicator that tells you he's coming, like none of them are there. So that's where, Ted, do you have any idea? I know I'm supposed to be the one that knows more about protection. I don't know exactly what they're trying to accomplish here with this protection
I don't either. I don't know what they're doing. But the
because
first protection you drew up would have been perfect
yeah,
for this.
so in the
Very
left
easy.
tackle, if it was just like slide protection, the left tackle wouldn't come back and work inside like he does, which by the way, if it's 5-0 and they're just blocking the 5 down guys and the left tackle sees that Kobe McKenzie's dropping that quickly and says go and bumps the guy off so he can go the guard off so he can go help, like that's really good if that's what they were trying to accomplish in protection.
Yeah.
But I
Looks
just
like it to me.
I
I don't know. I think they messed it up on the backside, or I don't know what it is.
the right tackle's technique. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but it's just he's post sets too far. I am not a keep your post foot up guy. I'm sorry to any offensive line coach watching this that is. I don't believe that. Also, the easiest thing in the world as a tackle is to post set and just grab with your outside hand so that the guy doesn't do exactly what Gracen Halton does. You can grab the outside of the shoulder pad and then replace your hand. If he tries,
Mhm.
because the natural reaction of a defensive lineman when you post on him is to counter that and try to beat you outside. And if you just grab the outside of his shoulder pad, it slows him down and you can work with him and you can replace your hand and you will never get called for holding ever. So
Yeah,
the right tackles technique, I mean, oof, see ya.
not great.
Stack.
Well, and Gracen Halton does a great job here. It's a good get off. He's got a plan. He knows
Gets
exactly
the
where he's
hands
doing.
down.
He's going to
Look at
be
him.
the contained rusher.
Yeah, that's it. Is there it's not like OU's defense is doing anything elaborate here. They're just rushing four. Like they're just getting to a four-man rush.
Yeah. Well, and Grayson has a great get off, just enough little stab inside to get that tackle to commit or at least get his balance off. And he works to the outside, really good hands, finishing off, make sure he stays active whenever he comes up. He's down and then he's back up. See him rip off to where, because so the tackle doesn't have time to regroup and get back, get his hands back on him. It feels like you're past him right here, but he goes ahead and finishes up right there, good to where he can't get to him, and makes a good flush sack. The other thing though that is real important is we we don't know how they're protecting it, but we know they're thinking a blitz. You could tell by that running back. He's eyeing Stutzman and just the demeanor of everyone and the way they're going. The quarterback looks like this is why I think they kind of thought Billy was coming because he looks to go hot right away to Billy's coverage. And the reason he doesn't get rid of the football is watch Kobe McKenzie. He's an underneath player. We're in man to man coverage. What you'd like to do as a free player underneath is to reroute and help out your guys that are running the crossers. Now,
It
you
is
usually, yeah,
Ted is a good reroute technique to just stick your face straight into a guy's collarbone.
yeah. What I was going to say is typically you want to smash that guy and make him go over the top because you're putting him right back into Billy's lap. But if he goes underneath, you're cutting your own guy off. But if you stone him so hard that you totally shut down what he's doing, it's okay. You see Billy's right there waiting on him. And now, because Billy's able to get there and that guy was slowed down, he's able to get his eyes in the backfield. Really not supposed to do it unless you got a guy really locked down, and he does. So the quarterback, he wants to go hot right there. Oh no, they're not doing what we think. Has to pull the ball down, and by that time, it's too late. He has to eat it. There's a really nice sack.
Looks like Trace Ford is maybe tracking the back
Yeah.
and then kind of, I don't know, converts to a spy.
Well, he might be thinking the ball's going to be coming out hot himself, and is
Gotcha.
looking to because the quarterback he's coming in there tracking the quarterback looks like he's maybe ready to load and fire. So I think maybe that's why he's drifting a little bit here. But it's a really good job by Kobe. Good job by Billy selling it. Maybe he's doing something with his eyes there that has them thinking he's coming. But whatever it is, they were fooled. Quarterback thought he was going to be able to get rid of it right away. He's not. And Gracen Halton doing a really good job on that contained rush. Gets a really nice, easy sack there. Great job. Team defense.
Team defense. How do we feel about our first in the weeds of the year? I'm a little rusty on the controls. I'll get there. I'll get better, people. It hadn't been quite a calendar year, but it's been a while.
It's not like having the old cowboy remote, but it's getting
Maybe I
better.
can get one of those.
They hook them up to their computers.
Yeah. Maybe I'll I'll try to find one.
This segment will really have to take off or maybe you just want one of those anyways, right? It
I
justifies it.
I want that. Well, let us know what you think. We're planning on doing this for each game this season. So let us know what you think in the comments. Please make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you really like this content, feel free to show us some love with the sooner with a super thanks. All right, we'll see you next time here on In the Weeds, presented by Riverwind Casino.